Hello there, Texas Deacon here. Thank you for joining me. It's good to have you. If you're watching me on the Lone Star 1776 channel, which is Rudy's channel, please be advised that I have my own channel, the Texas Deacon, of course. I have to keep telling people because I get most of my viewers on Rudy. Rudy is so gracious to pick me up and put me on his channel. Today's lesson is entitled The Christian Survivalist Part 4, Freeze-Dried and Dehydrated Food. You've got to read 2 Kings 6:25 through 30 and go online and check out the 1972 commercial airliner crash in the Andes Mountains in South America. They will be eye-opening if you haven't done it already. Also read 1 Timothy 5:8. That's the passage that tells you that if anybody doesn't provide for their own family, they're worse than an infidel and have denied the faith, as the King James says. Also read 2 Thessalonians 3:10, where it tells us those that don't work, they don't get to eat either. And I am also including under that passage those who don't provide for the tragedy that's coming, the disaster or whatever. Those that do not provide are just as bad as those that don't work, and so they don't get to eat either. Commercially dried food. Freeze-dried is a better term. It's very good, very delicious. Peaches has a very long shelf life. The downside is it's just a little expensive. And as I said before, I gear my programs to those that are on the smallest budget. However, those that are on the smallest budget need to educate themselves on these freeze-dried food because I have a feeling that their economic situation is going to improve. At least I pray that it does. Now, again, we have, I guess, a quart of peaches and a gallon of freeze-dried apples. These things are delicious. This is when you shop online, you can get these. Shop around for the best price. These, you just boil water and pour into the container and you let it set and eat it right out of the container. Very good. Also, military rations, MRE, meals ready to eat. They're also very good if you can get them. Dehydrators. If you don't have a dehydrator, be careful where you purchase it. I've got most of the dehydrators that I've gotten over the years from garage sales, estate sales, where you get them for a very reasonable price. I kept the best looking one for myself, the biggest one. When I started to use it the other day, which I obviously don't use it very often, I discovered it does not have a blower motor. It has a heating element, but no blower motor. That's where it came from the factory. Now, the ones that don't have blower motors, I don't think do as good a job as the ones that circulate the air with a blower motor. And it takes 3 to 4 times as long to dehydrate your food. I got mine that I'm using right now from Walmart. $42. It does a good job. And I've done, let's set this out of the way here. I've done bananas and apples. They look nasty. They have about the same texture as beef jerky, but they taste good. Apples turned out a whole lot more palatable, easier to eat. Very, very good. I do like this. My personal opinion on food dehydration is that if you have access to the food which you're going to dehydrate is really how the Dehydrated comes into its own. If you have to pay retail prices for items and then pack them away and dry them and do all the work, it just might be cheaper to go ahead and shop around and get the price on the commercial stuff. So you need to be able to get all your products at little or no cost. You have to make that decision now. Shelf life of Dehydrated. Go online and check the shelf life of dehydrated food. I went online and you get sort of varying information, varying opinions. I'm sure it's going to be good for at least a year packed like this, maybe longer. However, the enemies of dehydration, like it says online, are heat, moisture, light, and oxygen. Now, I didn't include oxygen in my enemies list because to get rid of oxygen, you've got to buy a little packet that are quite expensive, hard to find, and you have to put them in each one. You need one for oxygen, one for moisture, and pretty soon you're going to end up spending more. Anyway, okay, there's also vacuum sealing or vacuum packing. If you have that ability, that will help. If you have space in your deep freeze, put it in your deep freeze, and the shelf life begins when you take it out, even if it's years later. That's about it on freeze-dried and dehydration. What I'm going to do next is should have been a part of lesson number 2, which was entitled Commercially Canned Food. These are meat items. This is pink tuna, fish steaks, corned beef. They have a 5-year shelf life. That's something on the grocery shelf. If you cleaned out the bottom shelf of your refrigerator, which if yours is like mine and most others I've seen, the stuff in the back is just pushed back there and never gets used. You can put a whole lot of these back there. They have a 5-year shelf life as it is. Put them back there where it's cool. That's going to be at least 10 years, probably even longer. As I said earlier, the enemies of long-term food storage are heat, moisture, light, and no rotation. I talked about rotation in lesson number 2. However, we have 4 more enemies. They are friends, neighbors, relatives, and the government. They will all be after your food, so you got to protect it. You give my words some thought. You pray about it, ask God to guide you, and then you do what your conscience tells you to do. May God bless America. May God bless the Republic of Texas, and may God bless you.